Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark is off tonight. We begin this hour with an update to a story that we first brought to you back in 2022. You may remember 8-year-old Mila Miller. Her body was found in the back of a U-Haul in South Dakota. Now her mother and her mother's boyfriend are accused of killing Mila after months of abuse. And we've just learned the mother, Mandy Miller, now faces several new charges, including homicide by abuse and assault. Court documents show the boyfriend admitted to slapping Mila twice the day she died and also tied her up in a bathrobe like a straitjacket for 4 to 6 hours a day. Miller's trial is scheduled to begin in March. Months ago, we took an in-depth look at Mila's life and the system that failed her. You can find that full story on our website, KREM.com. Also new tonight, the Department of Health says opioid-related deaths amongst teens tripled since 2016 in Washington state. Now tonight, Spokane Public Schools discussed how they're planning to expand their substance abuse curriculum. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk joins us now in the studio with more tonight. Kyle?
Well, yeah, Cody, the school district wants to educate all students, including kindergartners, on the dangers of opioids, specifically fentanyl. Now, a bipartisan bill making its way through the state Senate would require this type of curriculum. Wiping her tears away, Maria Petty testified in Olympia before the House Committee on Education, sharing her family's tragic story with state lawmakers.
I'm a mother of 4. I lost my 16-year-old son October 31st, 2022, to what was ruled as a fentanyl poisoning. I strongly support this bill.
A bipartisan bill making its way through the state Senate would require schools to educate middle and high school students on the dangers of fentanyl and other opioids. Another bill would also require districts to keep Narcan on campus.
High school is the age that kids feel invincible and curious. I don't believe that the majority of these children that have died due to this drug or become addicted to this drug were out looking for fentanyl. It's our job as parents and as educators to ensure that our youth is being properly educated and supported through this devastating epidemic.
Spokane Public Schools is already looking to expand its substance abuse curriculum and support for students who are either experimenting or addicted to drugs, including nicotine. The district is moving forward with plans to develop a K-12 comprehensive plan for preventing and educating students on substance abuse. Right now, SPS has 40 mental health therapists and 2 drug treatment counselors. The district is considering increasing that number to 5. In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Now, the drug crisis was also on the table in Olympia today. Republicans introduced several proposals as part of the Recovery Washington package. Lawmakers say their plan promotes treatment and recovery, as well as restore money to law enforcement drug task forces. Meanwhile, Washington State Governor Jay Inslee also met with state leaders today to discuss his most recent budget proposal. That proposal adds more than $50 million in new funding to combat the drug crisis.
They need to be advised how deadly fentanyl is. It is a different drug. It's sort of a nuclear weapon of opioids.
The latest figures from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show Washington has the fastest growing rate of overdose deaths nationally, with a 40% increase last year. Well, let's turn now to take a look at our forecast. Tomorrow could be rinse and repeat for us, with more rain potentially on the way. Meteorologist Michelle Bosch joining us in the Weather Center tonight. And as we look at those chances, Michelle, how much rain are we potentially seeing?
We're looking at anywhere between maybe 1/10 and 2/10 of an inch of rain, so not huge downpours, but certainly some more wet weather on the way. The temperatures will continue to be at or above average, though overnight, especially right before sunrise, we could see some spots dip just below freezing. So as some folks saw some icy spots this morning on every area, roadways and sidewalks, we are looking for that possibility again tomorrow before things warm up well into the middle and upper 30s. Right now, it's pretty mild out there, 37 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but it's down close to freezing in Moses Lake, Wenatchee, right at 32 in Ritzville, in the upper 30s across the Palouse and down towards Lewiston. Just as we see one area of precipitation moving out, that was from earlier today, kind of expand and look out to our west, and another area of precipitation going to be moving back in just in time for tomorrow afternoon. But in the short term, should be dry overnight, mostly cloudy skies, some fog, and again, some spots could see temperatures just below freezing, so watch out for that. Otherwise, tomorrow afternoon, some rain showers, 38 degrees, could be mixed in with a little bit of snow Thursday night and again Friday night, but we'll get a break from the rain for the most part on Friday before a soggy weekend ahead, highs around 40.
Well, it has been more than 5 months since two devastating wildfires destroyed hundreds of homes in Spokane County. And today, Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers heard directly from local leaders to try and bring relief to those impacted. On top of today's meeting, McMorris Rodgers and Senator Maria Cantwell sent a letter to the Biden administration urging the president to authorize the funding requested by the governor. One of the biggest challenges facing homeowners is thousands of dollars in debris cleanup and asbestos testing.
They're waiting, those that have lost their homes and others that want to help meet the need, everything's on hold. So we just really want to impress upon the White House and the President the importance of the decision.
The director of Washington State's Department of Emergency Management says the state's basically maxed out its annual emergency assistance fund for these two wildfires. The more than 360 homes lost mark the most primary residences lost in Washington history. Let's turn over now to Night Beat for a quick look at the day's top stories. A major crash on Bigelow Gulch this morning killed one person and sent several others to the hospital. It also shut down the road for most of the day. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, that crash happened when a semi-truck crossed over the center line and collided with a car carrying 3 people. They were taken to the hospital where one of the passengers later died. Deputies on scene say speed and conditions are believed to be factors in this crash, but right now, the investigation is still ongoing tonight. Spokane police arrested a suspect for an early morning shooting on the South Hill. It happened around 3 o'clock this morning on 55th Avenue. Police arrived on scene and they say they found a man with gunshot wounds. He died at the scene. Police arrested 22-year-old Cody Lowe for second-degree murder. The Major Crimes Unit is handling this investigation. The identity of the victim will be released at a later date. Finally tonight, we now know the devices that forced Lakes Middle School into modified lockdown today were not actually explosive. Coeur d'Alene police put the school on alert after 2 possible explosive devices were reported in a nearby home. It was an active scene for most of the day with police cars and a bomb disposal truck blocking off the road. Just before 5 tonight, we learned from police the devices were deemed not explosive. We were not told what the devices actually were. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, head to our website, KREM.com. Well, at this hour, shocking new video showing a different angle of that door plug that blew off an Alaska Airlines flight less than 3 weeks ago. No one was seriously hurt, but it did spark major safety concerns and travel disruptions nationwide. Now, just hours ago, we learned the FAA has a plan to get the Boeing 737 MAX 9 back into the air. Agency says an inspection and maintenance process must now be performed on each aircraft before it'll be eligible for flight. In the meantime, the Boeing plant on the west side of the state will close tomorrow. This after an anonymous post from an alleged employee listed quality control issues at that plant. The post claims the issues ultimately led to the delivery of a 737 MAX 9, missing some essential bolts. Boeing says only that agency can release information about the investigation, so it's not able to comment. It will be up to the NTSB to confirm or disprove the claims. Well, in national headlines right now, investigators still have more questions than answers tonight after 6 bodies were found in the Mojave Desert this week. Police were called out to the spot for a welfare check on Tuesday after someone spotted a white van abandoned at the scene. When police arrived, they found 5 of the bodies. They found the 6th the next morning. Tonight, the identities of the victims have not been released and very little is known at this time. Police say there was a car at the scene with bullet holes in the side, but the causes of death have not been released. And take a look at this crazy video out of California tonight as much of the state gets swept up in floodwaters. You can see it right here. One driver had to be rescued from the top of her overturned car. This was in the San Francisco area yesterday morning. Officials say they don't know how she got herself out of her car, but it likely saved her life. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.